What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, comment and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or a video drops. Appreciate you coming back, share this out, do all the good stuff. Another Roster Bubble video for you guys today. And in these videos, we take a player that's on the cusp of being cut. I talk about their background, their competition, ways they could win a spot on the roster, ways they could lose a spot on the roster, and a projection at the end. Today we're going to talk about swing tackle Matt Nelson, who was brought on a visit with the New York Giants in March, and then he signed with them. So his background, he's 28 years old, 6'7", offensive tackle, 315 pounds, and he went to college at Iowa. Was an undrafted free agent and stuck with the Lions until this past year. And last year he started 2 games. He played in 3. The rest was pretty much down due to injury. The year prior he played in 11 games. He also got some meaningful snap time. 2021, 13 games, 11 starts. That's when the Detroit offensive line wasn't even that good. And then 2020, 16 games, 1 start, but as a defensive tackle. So he is a converted DT to OT, if you get what I mean. In terms of last year, 1 quarterback hit allowed, 1 pressure. In 2021, where he had 11 starts, 3 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, and 34 pressures. Now, I will take some of that with a grain of salt because A, it's been 2 years, and B, that was a different offensive line then. His pass block efficiency wasn't great in 2021, but nonetheless, what is he coming into competition-wise with the New York Giants? Well, he is coming into a competition alongside Yannick Justi, who was in the same draft class as him out of West Virginia, Marcellus Johnson, who's an undrafted free agent out of Missouri, Josh Miles, who is an offensive tackle, played with the Falcons, played a little with the Giants last year and the Cardinals a couple of years ago, Josh Azudu, who's a 3rd-round pick from a couple of years ago, and Jaylen Mayfield, who is a guard tackle guy, formerly of the Atlanta Falcons. The Giants picked him up, played him in a few games last year. So how can he win? Well, number one, he's got to stay healthy. The New York Giants are looking for at least 1 to 2 backup tackles. I'd like to think it's 4 tackles they keep on the roster. Realistically, I know they want Illuminor as a guard, but it's Neal, it's Zudu, it's Andrew Thomas, and then they fill out the script from there. And obviously the practice squad counts, but we're talking about the original 53. And it's a battle again between Mayfield, Miles, Johnson, Kajusti, and Matt Nelson. And Nelson probably, when you look at it, has the most experience over Kajusti because he's had a ton of injuries over the course of his career. But he's got a mold as a pass protector. Giving up that many pressures and quarterback hits and sacks, that's not going to do well. And the Giants ran through linemen like a lot of people run through clothes. I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything in those 30 seconds. I was thinking about it. But nonetheless, the Giants ran through a lot of linemen last year in the preseason. Guys were getting hurt, and guys just flat out fucking sucked. I mean, yeah, Julian Davenport come in. He sucked. This guy sucked. That guy sucked. Everybody sucked, okay? So many sacks were taken by Tommy DeVito, and all these other different things happened. But they just weren't good at the tackle position. And that got worse when they got into the regular season. So you get Matt Nelson, who has been a decent backup tackle for the last few years. A lot of Lion fans actually prefer Dan Skipper. But again, Matt Nelson's here. Dan Skipper is not. And his vet experience, that could help him a lot. I mean, besides molding as a pass protector, health, and veteran experience. Again, maybe a guy like Jaylen Mayfield is more experienced because he probably, I think, because he was drafted in the 3rd round, he probably started more games over the course of his career. I could be wrong, but as far as Mr. Matt Nelson goes, he does have the more years in the league and all that other good stuff. How can he lose? Injuries, passed up by guys with lesser experience, and struggles as a pass protector. We've seen years, right, where this guy is favored to go in as a offensive tackle 3 or 4, offensive guard 3 or 4, and they have legitimate veteran experience, but they don't bring it to training camp, and they just flat out suck. That would happen if he struggles as a pass protector. I mean, running game is going to be important, but if he's not a good pass protector, it's going to be trouble. And, if Neal for some reason is not going into training camp and maybe Azudu gets hurt or something along the lines, right now Azudu's slotted in at right tackle, then you might see Matt Nelson bump up to right tackle 1. But right now, I think he'd be left tackle 2 or right tackle 2. And that's where he's going to get burned against guys like Tamon Fox, some of the other outside linebackers that the New York Giants have. That's where he's going to get his mold. And also enjoying practices and the preseason against other teams' twos. So he's going to need to get better as a pass protector. He's going to need to stay healthy and just not get passed up by guys with lesser experience than him. But I do have Matt Nelson making the roster as a backup offensive tackle. I think his experience does win him a spot over some of these other guys. I know health has been an on and off issue with Nelson, but I think, again, they could mold him into a solid backup just for a year, nothing more. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops through your drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.